Right, hopefully we're live. I've tried to do something a bit dangerous here and go live vertically as well as normally. But we should be live now for the Hungary Grand Prix, where there have been some grid penalties applied since we were here yesterday. How do I open this? Open. Now what do I do? Ah! Nice. Water in a can. Welcome Dark Cloud, welcome Martin Harmson, Chira as well. Yanis, Blacker in the house. Welcome everyone. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So I think it could be quite an exciting race. So Kimi got a penalty and Lewis got a penalty, and the Lewis penalty is like 100% slam dunk. Like as slam dunk blocking as you'll see. In fact, completely ruined Oscar's lap. So given how well Lando did, maybe Oscar will be a little bit disappointed to have got blocked there. It won't be a consolation that Lewis got a penalty. Although it might help Lando a little bit, ironically, his teammate. But hopefully everything is working. Let me know if it's working as usual. Would be good to know. And yeah, the Mercedes, like George already down there with his issue. So it sounds like with George, we're live already. Can get rid of this. I think with George, he had a big issue with the car. In fact, I don't know whether he's going to take a grid penalty or not, or some sort of penalty for changing an engine. Lighting a bit overexposed, we can change that. We can change that, that's no problem. Good to see you back in the usual spot. Yeah, China was absolutely fantastic. China was amazing. No complaints about China whatsoever. Lots of content coming out. Oh, Chai's got the update. No grid penalty for Russell as it's still within the 4 allowed changes. Okay. Good to know. As I do think it was an odd place to stop on the racing line. So you have a look at the circuit above me, which I don't know why I didn't point this out yesterday, but he came to stop just on kind of just a little bit past where you turn in for turn 1. Let me check what's going on in the chat also. Yeah, Malaysia GP is happening. Except it's actually officially the Bahrain Grand Prix, which is a bit confusing. But basically the Bahrain Grand Prix is happening in Malaysia. Yeah, and watch this space, I guess, for the final rounds, or 2 of the 3 final rounds. Qatar and Abu Dhabi. Where could they go from there? I mean, Silverstone. Oh, Silverstone in December. Last round. It'd be special. That would work as well because Qatar actually sponsors the Silverstone Grand Prix. Last edition of Malaysian Grand Prix 2017. Verstappen's second win of his career. First GP win was a year prior in Spain. Yeah. Yeah, I think there is a new safety car. It's just marketing for Mercedes. Yeah. When you type Lewis Hamilton on Google, penalty on the first results. What are the other results? I'm curious. What are the other results when you type in Lewis Hamilton? Are there any more grids in the Southern Hemisphere where the weather is a little bit more agreeable? Just do another round at Mexico. Do another round at Sao Paulo. That's what I say. Kyle Army, is Kyle Army ready? So you're saying southern hemisphere because it will be summer. Go Kyle Army. They should Interlagos reverse. They do. I think they would have to do a slightly different layout actually, which is quite interesting. %10 chance of rain today. 1 in 10 chance for absolute chaos. I'll take it. Morning self indeed. Martin said Kyle Army. Okay, so if you were in control, and let's say Abu Dhabi and Qatar get cancelled, which shows how reliant the calendar is on the Middle East, because Bahrain, Saudi, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi all take place in a very, very, very small part of the world. Although I guess you could kind of say the same about Spa, Silverstone. Doesn't quite feel the same. Wigan, can Lando hold on at the front? Sure hope so. Let's see. Piastri's been promoted all the way to P3 with those penalties. Verstappen's now on the second row in the grid. Martin saying the most beautiful grid girls. But that's not a thing anymore. So what else have we got for Kyle Army? It's a great track. The layout's fantastic. Great to drive. What are the circuits? Turkey? Apparently Turkey's not ready yet. Go back Imola. Give it Imola. But if it's December... Given how hot the summer's been in Europe, what's the winter going to be like? Is the winter going to be super cold? What other circuits would I go to for my knowledge of racing? In the Southern Hemisphere. Where did WEC GT World Challenge? Grade 1 circuits. Didn't we go when we went to Nürburgring in 2021? Wasn't it super cold? Does anyone remember Eiffel GP? Wasn't it crazy cold? Chai might know. As long as it doesn't get to minus 27 degrees C again where I live, I don't think we could run in those temperatures. That would be something interesting to watch. That'd be like football when they play in the snow. I seem to remember Nürburgring GP was quite cold. What about going to like Misano or somewhere like in Italy? Like, surely in Italy, there's so many tracks in Italy. What about going Mugello? What about going Portimao? What's Portimao saying in December? What's the average temperature for Portimao? Surely it's got to be Portimao. There we go. We found it. It's going to be Portimao. Jericho? We're going back to the First Testament. My area's national cold record recorded because the arms on the alarm clock froze. That is cold. Jerez? Jerez is a good shout, although Jerez floods. I was at Jerez when it rained, and a week later it completely flooded. Like, talking flood in southern Spain. Southern Spain makes sense. What about Jarama outside Madrid? That could be cold though. What's near Jerez? There's another circuit down by Jerez. There's another circuit by Jerez down there. That's even more famous. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, they're not a bad sound. Any tracks in Africa? Yeah, Kyle Army. Kyle Army's the big one. Kyle Army in South Africa. But apparently Kyle Army's not ready. Dark Cloud Australia again. What about like Phillip Island or something? It's a good idea. Start and finish season in Australia. Imagine Piastri goes on a run now. But maybe not. You couldn't do Melbourne because it's not a permanent circuit. Isn't it out? Where are they taking MotoGP? They're taking MotoGP to Adelaide. But Adelaide's also got barriers, doesn't it? Street barriers. It's funny how there's not... It doesn't seem like there's that many... These are the best cars in the world. Like, they should be able to attack any circuit, but it feels like there's not that many circuits worldwide that can handle them. Which kind of feels a bit weird. Like, they should be good enough to go to any track. I know a lot of it is safety. Like, tier 1 safety and all of that. I think installation laps will start in 2 minutes, maybe. Couple of minutes till installation laps. Thing is, getting stuff to Australia, getting all that freight and everything. This is why I think F1 needs its own circuit. I said this before. I said this in February or March, whenever it was. I said F1 made a mistake by setting up in Vegas because it's not a permanent circuit. F1 should have set up at a permanent circuit and can do loads of media there, testing, all the influence and nonsense. And then if there's an emergency and they need a circuit, it's like, this is our circuit. It's prepped, it's ready to go. We do all the ticketing and everything. Basically like what they do in Vegas, but they don't. But Vegas, they only have a little block and doesn't work apart from the race weekend. That's how I would do it. So what are we thinking in chat? We're thinking Australia or south of South Spain? They're in Vegas for the last two, but the Vegas is the penultimate round though. I don't think they're not in Vegas. Vegas is not set up for that race week. Right, about 40 minutes to go. That clock's a little bit slow, so I set it up late. And there is Lando Norris starting his installation lap. Welcome, Epic Ventures. Good morning. Yeah, not too bad. Looking forward to a good race. It's just hot again. It's just I've been constantly hot. I've been hot for the last at least 2 months. At least 2 months. And China was very hot. Do a race at Zandvoort or next week Aston. I think Zandvoort in the winter is just by the sea is just asking for big trouble. Like, for me that's big trouble. Le Mans? Do Bugatti circuit? Would Bugatti circuit? That would be great. It's got one big grandstand. Yeah, Malaysia's good. I wonder how the ticketing's going to work for it. Right, cars are leaving the pit lane. Just doing their installations. Checking everything's working. And they'll be driving back through the pit lane before the grid procedure starts at about past, so in about 10 minutes. Looks like there's a bit of a queue to get out of the pits. Not sure why. I think it may have been Gasly. Maybe they were waiting for something. Will there be any bowling at turn 1 as well? Yeah, massive queues at the exit of the pits. Not sure its practice starts. Maybe it's some kind of traffic light procedure, giving everyone plenty of space out on the circuit. But then they seem to go in. They seem to go in groups, which is a bit weird. Gonna have 70 laps here today. Wonder if Leclerc will take the lead going into turn 1 with the good starts the Ferraris are getting. Hamilton as well. So let's think about it a little bit actually. So let's say the start of the race. Let's say Leclerc gets into P1. He's got 2 McLarens behind him. And let's say Hamilton jumps Verstappen. The question that, and then the race would settle down. The question then would be, what is the pace with the McLarens and the Ferraris? And also, is it going to be just the Mercedes methodically picking off everyone? Cotter would be fine, but everyone's already there. But yeah, maybe they should have done a double header or something. I mean, there's no space because the way they've leveraged the calendar, it's like there's no space on the back end, right? But there's loads of different layouts you could do at Cotter, and it's made for it, and it's in America, so they'll love it. So that seems like a no-brainer. What about going to Indy? What about going back to Indianapolis on the banking? Daytona infield? Oh, Daytona infield. Oh, Epic Adventures!
And I decided I would stay out here for one more lap.
Ah, I didn't realise I had the notifications. Were the notifications always muted? Or do you have an echo now? Let me know how it is. Looking forward to the last race for summer break. I hope Kimi can pull it off in P7. What do you think about these penalties? Thanks so much, Epic Adventures. Please do put your claps in the chat there for the super chat. Much appreciated. Well, to answer your question directly, I think the Hamilton penalty was a slam dunk. Because I saw the Hamilton penalty and it was just a mess. And also, I think Hamilton should have known better. As soon as he went over that line, he should have immediately switched, like, I don't want to get a penalty for impeding Oscar. But because of the yellow, because of the jaw. But also, hang on. Wasn't there a yellow flag anyway? Was there a yellow flag at that point from Russell? Don't know whether Russell would hit a yellow, because if there was a yellow, it's kind of a little bit irrelevant, because Piastri was going to go through that yellow zone. Although maybe not, from what we saw with George, ironically, in Austria. The Kimi one, I'm not sure. But can Kimi pull it? I hope Kimi can pull it off from P7. I think... Yes, he can. Yeah, the Kimi one was he didn't lift enough, basically. So that is obviously controversial given what happened in Austria. Willow Peaks, Big Willow. Big Willow would be amazing. Watkins Glen? That's upstate New York. Russell's flag came pretty late. I just know on the radio Hamilton got yellow flag stuff on the radio. Yellow flag sector 19 at the moment. Not sure what's going on there. I think that's probably just to slow down. And I remember last year when Hamilton came absolutely flying into the grid, like at about 300 miles an hour, and all the celebrities on the grid. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's too fast. And then he did get I think he did get a penalty for it. Yeah, let me know what you think, Epic. Do you think Kimi's going to pull it off? Hit the like on the donation as well. Thank you very much. Still US and some parts are icy. Yeah, maybe need to go really south. So 2 penalties there for first and second in the championship. No one else getting one, but first and second getting it. So maximum drama. And still the installation laps happening for a lot of the drivers, but some of them now entering the grid. Looks like Lando's entering the grid. Good circuit this. Turn 6 is an absolute flyer. Sorry, turn 4. And then turn 6 and 7, that chicane, you got to attack it. Where Perez is now. Are there previous cases of cancelled racing decision being made to go back to circuits already been raced early in the year? Didn't Qatar do 2? Didn't we do 2 rounds at Qatar and we did like 2 different layouts? Was that the one that Perez won? We did like the super fast outer layout that you actually couldn't do now because there wouldn't be enough recharge. Epic, I hope so. I feel like they're trying to allow others to gain points for the championship. Ooh. Interesting. Well, we did say if Kimi has a bad race, and Lewis wins, it goes to within a win at the top in terms of the points difference. But I didn't think about it like that yesterday. Just wonder if I'm watching installation laps now and I think Ocon going wide. Half an hour to go till the Grand Prix, and the cars are now entering the grid. Though it looks like Sergio Perez is in the pit lane. So hopefully if you're a Sergio Perez fan, and Behrman's going around again. So let's see what happens with Perez. Not sure why he's still in the pit lane. Verstappen as well, that car looks so difficult to drive. For the 4-time world champion. Bear with me, I'm just going to arrange something on the vertical feed. Oh, I have arranged it. It's really nice. It's really nice on the vertical feed actually already. I don't need to do anything. Pit exit closed, but Sergio Perez is still in the pits. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. I imagine Perez is not taking his grid slot. I don't know what the Dutch live blog's saying. They seem to be always on the button. Kimi has been so impressive here. I kind of feel bad for Russell because last week Hamilton took him out on purpose. Russell's certainly been in the wars. Certainly been in the wars, that's for sure. Verstappen did say in an interview that it's something different each time. Yeah, but he seems to be having these moments where the car's like over-rotating. Like crazy. Which is mad. That's 3 times now we've seen it. Red Bull Ring, Silverstone and Austria. So I'm going to have some ice cold Lucozade Sport ice kick. This stream is sponsored by Lucozade Sport Special Jude Edition. Welcome, Postman. No info on Perez yet. Okay, so maybe he's starting from the pits. Right, now I've got to do a really difficult thing, which I've got to get my Lucozade into this. Ooh. Who's my team and driver? I never really have a specific team and driver. I think we're all hoping that Alfonso is gonna do something special here, though. Maybe get into the points. Oh no. Why do I feel like I'm on Breaking Bad? I tell you what, we should do a nations check. Let me put that in. Let me put that in. Let us know where you're watching from. What's going on with Yuki? Well, Yuki right now is in Tokyo. He's at the Formula E. So Tsunoda's in Tokyo. Chai from Netherlands, Martin Netherlands. Netherlands getting in quick. Always quick. Star Tamer Hamilton straightened his wheel to protect his car from stepping out. Or Hamilton, I say. Got the penalty there. Welcome, Philip. Please do let us know where you're watching from. Black Curry Croatia. Oh. Have I eaten today? No. Epic Adventure from Florida. Maybe you'll be getting the bonus race in Florida. I just think Florida might be... What about... Oh my goodness, what about Sebring? What about Sebring in October? Or November it would be. Amstaff, Netherlands. Kaiden says Oscar for P1. Well, let's see. Benji's from Melbourne. What time is it in Melbourne? Philip, Greece, but we ain't getting F1 race. You got WRC there. You got the Acropolis. Is there something smoking on the grid? No, it's liquid nitrogen on the McLaren. Jay Twopo from South Africa. Maybe you're going to get the Grand Prix, the bonus Grand Prix at Kailami. Kaiden from Tasmania. 10:34 PM. Okay, it's kind of prime time for you. You actually went there and got a free hat. What, to the Acropolis? Not bad. Dark Cloud, yeah, it's grid walk. It's MB. Mr. Brundle's on the grid walk. So let's see what celebrity who's minding their own business is going to go up to get a clip. Let's see. But then mysteriously all the Sky celebrities are going to be there ready with their name already loaded in to the broadcast software, mysteriously. Lance Stroll is on the grid. Yeah, do hit the like button. We should set a like target for today. Loki, Oscar loves Hungary. You thinking Piastri win? Lawrence Stroll. Lawrence Stroll, the Aston Martin logo and his bio are loaded in to Sky Sports. Who else are we going to get? Who else is on the grid? Hungary tends to be a Grand Prix that's not very well attended by the celebrities. Kaiden is thinking Piastri win. I feel like he dominates in Hungary. What? Anyone else? What are you thinking for the winner? Laura said hi. What's Laura thinking for the win? The Aston Martin upgrades. Looking pretty good. Be good to see what the differences are between Lance's car and Fernando's car. See if Honda can uphold their end of the bargain. So quite a lot of aero around the floor for the Aston. This is what I wonder about Sky Sports being sponsored by Audi. Like, would they do the same on the Audi car? Would they put their camera under the car on the Audi? Blacker, honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what will Kimi do today and will the pen impact his mentality. Honestly, I don't think the pen's going to impact his mentality. And I could see him methodically winning this race. And if he wins this race, that's a world championship drive, in my opinion. World's an amazing yacht destination. When's the Malaysian Grand Prix going to happen? October 2nd to 4th. Is it a yacht destination? Is it a yacht destination? That's the question. Is it an amazing yacht destination? Yeah, Char's got the dates in there. Are there any tickets on sale? Is it going to be cut price tickets? Black says yes, agreed. This is a big test for him. This is where champions are made in races like this. Who do you think is going to win Hungary? I think Lando might win it, to be fair. I think Lando might win it. Seems to be a very empty grid. Brundle's, I think, messing around with Behrman's Halo. Not Halo, what's it called? Hands device. Homera says probably Lando. Charles hoping for no red flag, let's see. Epic, can't wait to go to this go-kart track in Fort Myers, Florida. It's the longest indoor track in Florida. My son is very excited to see. Do you have any tracks by you? I'm very lucky, I've got lots of tracks. These trophies are from a lot of the karting tracks in the UK. And more on the floor. What's this one? First place. Honestly, I don't think they give trophies like this anymore. I think it's just too expensive. But this was just an open race. That wasn't a championship race. You know what? You've reminded me, actually. You've reminded me that I really want to go karting. And I can do it next week. So I'm actually going to have a look. I want to go karting next week. I want to spend a whole day and do like 3 races. Take my GoPro or my Insta360. It's just the shame about the karting is that unfortunately my subscribers, and don't blame anyone here because YouTube is about what people actually want to watch. Unfortunately, the karting content just doesn't do well. If the karting content did well, I would do so much more karting because it would make so much sense. When I won my last karting championship, it was in direct conflict with doing these. Because it's a Sunday today, I could be at the kart circuit. But you guys, I think, prefer hanging out with me here than watching karting videos. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Welcome, Size, it's good to see you. Welcome to the F1 fans. Maybe interesting tyre strategy. Ferrari drivers don't have new mediums. And why do they use mediums in Q1 yesterday? What was that about? Unless they wanted to scrub them. Go check them out, Epic Ventures. A lot of them on my Motorsport channel. Formula Fan TV. Hopefully we'll do another race recap there. Formula Fan TV. Karting is good in outdoor circuit. So when I was in China, I did a half indoor, half outdoor circuit. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen it. And actually really enjoyed it. It was tarmac, indoor and outdoor. You know what, we're going to set a light target. I'm going to say 500. We go for 500. That means we're 5% of the way. Yeah, we'll see if Oscar wins. Welcome Yansu as well. $20 to go now till the start of the race. It seems to be a very quiet grid. Hulkenberg and P10, but no points this season for Hulkenberg. Have you been to the kart track in the Nürburgring? Yes, I've driven that kart circuit, the indoor one. There's a kart circuit in the complex. What's your opinion on Hungary? So I've been to the Hungary Grand Prix. It's a really nice circuit to go to. Lots of different ways to get there and get out, which is always good. I'd say it's better than Silverstone. Going to Silverstone this year did nothing to convince me that I really always want to go to Silverstone. Just the travel is such a pain. For F1 weekends, normally for me it's quite easy to get to Silverstone. The logistics to South Africa will be hectic. It'll be cool though. Perez confirmed pit start. Okay, so that is confirmed now. So we think that's the only pit start we're going to have today. Kaiden's actually been to all the ones this season. What do you mean? You've been to all the races? You at the race right now? Wow, which was the best race to go to this year? What was the best grandstand slot? Yeah, it's quite a quiet grid actually. Still need to pay for loads of VIP taxi. You don't even I mean, this year, to be honest, I was VIP with YouTube. But I still queued for an hour. I don't really, because I'm not really a VIP person. I don't want to go to the front and say, oh, is this a VIP shortcut? I'd rather just be in the queue. Ah! Epic Adventures, thank you very much. I've watched other content creators by F1 Your Absence, but you're by far the best, bro. Keep up the good work. Thanks so much. Your yellow thumbs up has blended camouflage-like into your donation. But yeah, we are back now. I'm going to give it another 10 out of 10. Please do clap at the donation from Epic Adventures. All the way from Florida. Very much appreciated. Yeah, if I don't have a clash, I'm here. China, the timings didn't really work. But we did do Red Bull Ring remote, I think, didn't we? So I also have a remote set up. It's because of your donation, so I was able to buy a little webcam. And actually the audio from the webcam is really good. Oh, Casey Stoner's here. So my next motorbike commentary is going to be next weekend. Saturday, Sunday. I'm really getting into the motorbike commentary. There are some battles a bit like Casey and Valentino. For Casey Stoner to win 2 titles in the Rossi era is kind of crazy. Kaiden, out of all of them, Australia was very nice. It's my home country, felt like a dream. Awesome. Right, it's time for the Hungarian anthem. I don't know whether it is a banger. If it's a certified banger or not. I actually don't know, I can't remember. One remote session, not quite like you set up, but it's great having you, credible. Ah, thank you very much. I did ask YouTube, so I asked YouTube when I went to Silverstone, I said, I do the watch-alongs, it'd be great to do something there, and they were like, we're sorry, but it's not possible. And then I went there, and then Matt and P1 Tommy had a whole recording studio there, in the same room I was in. So what I did, which I've just reminded, is I need to message my editor, because I recorded a podcast with another YouTuber called FP1 Will, who I met out there, and that probably should have been edited by now. I need to chase my editor. I'm not very good at chasing people. I'm not very good at chasing. Oh, I see Black has shared the stream. Please do share the stream. I'm going to repost this one. I'm going to repost it. I can react to a video now. Yeah, please do hit the share button and share this stream also. It's very helpful. Oh, was Casey talking about EV stuff? We were talking about the hybrid. Kaiden's planning on going to all of them. So you're just missing Hungary. That's a crazy budget. What's your budget? Spaceman saying Alfonso points today. You heard it here first. Is he going to pick up his 2nd point of the season? Does the Hungarian Air Force come? What are they? Are they F-16s? What's the Hungarian Air Force rocking? To be fair, it is only 3 planes. It doesn't... Unless your 3 planes are like B2s, I think 3 looks a bit like that's all we could muster. Black Club tell you, but yeah, it does really help getting the word out there. Risk of rain, by the way, has gone up to 20%, I've just seen. 20% risk of rain. 15 minutes to go. I'm about 200, 300k. What? Dollars? USD. So you're flying everywhere. Where are you staying? You always staying like near the circuit, or are you kind of staying in the city? Epic, I would like to go to Miami race next year. Do you have any idea how much tickets are? Very expensive, I've heard. But let's say you want to go all 3 days. I'm assuming the cheapest ticket per day is $500, and $500 for the race seems very cheap. That's what I would assume, but I don't know for sure. George Russell looks some kind of alien, some alien space ant. About in the middle of the city as you're gonna drive, okay. I wonder in the future George Russell's going to say in an interview, I hated wearing that silver inflated space jacket, but Mercedes made me wear it and I hated it. Welcome Syed Mohammed Siddiq Shabuddin. Sapanga's back. Yeah, maybe he won't regret wearing it there, to be fair. That could be hot. Could be hot. Right, 12 minutes to go till the start of the Grand Prix. So Sergio Perez is going to be starting from the back. Lando Norris is down for the front. Martin Hampson, Adrian Newey build not wrong, worst car, but something in the drivetrain. So you're saying it's Honda. Kind at the moment, I'm with a couple of mates and they're actually watching this with you. Wow. Some kind of F1 watch party going on. Max Verstappen starting P4, second row of the grid. I think it's confirmed. I mean, it would make so much sense if Verstappen goes to McLaren, right? Follow in the shoes of drivers like Ayrton Senna. And his engineer, GP, is going there as well.
Okay, crack on.
Just be the most obvious thing. So pretty much 10 minutes to go. Final preparations on the cars. Side says ice bath ready. Is that how you're watching the race? In an ice bath? That's a extreme session. Lando's just on the grass by the side of the track. Kimi's is eating some ice. Looks like Kimi's actually just eating some crushed ice. Bono's feeding him crushed ice. Chai says, if Verstappen stays in F1, he seems to be so passionate about other forms of racing. Yeah, that's a good point. I could see him doing a year out. What's more for them to grab? Well, do another 4. Do another 4. Yeah, the mindset of the elite athlete. And I wouldn't class myself as an elite athlete, but I have had success in what I do. Is you don't win one trophy and be like, that's it, I'm done. You constantly set yourself new goals, new wins, new championships. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, yeah, I want to get 8, I want to get 9. But if he doesn't think Red Bull's the place to do it, maybe he will move to McLaren, for example. Welcome, McGurkin, good to see you. Yeah, jump of rain, chance of rain now 20%. 51 degree track temp, so very toasty. The track temp right now. It's nice in Budapest. It's nice at the Hungaroring also. Just outside of Budapest, not that far to get to it. They always do a good job. The way Budapest do the Hungary Grand Prix, it feels like a street. It feels like the race is in the city, but you have all the benefit of having a purpose-built racetrack, and that's because they do all the stuff where they close roads and they get buses out there, but you don't have to have it on a street circuit. So you have the best of both worlds, really, I would say. So it's really good how they do it. Whereas Silverstone, it's just a complete mess. It's just an utter mess, Silverstone. And I don't know what they did this year, but this year they were doing like park and ride from towns about 2 hours away. To me, it always seemed like that was going to be a bit not ideal. Cited the wind is gusty. These cars are sensitive to the wind. It may be difficult for them out there, even in this heat. I think this is going to be a tough race. I think it's going to be a tough race for the drivers, to be honest. I've been complaining about the heat here, but yeah, it's going to be difficult conditions for them. For sure. Let me know in the chat who you're thinking of, who you think's going to win this race, by the way. I'm thinking Lando might do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kimi gets this done methodically as well. And if George ends up finishing 5th or something, well, we have to ask real questions about what's going on with George. Maybe the car, maybe the drive, maybe a combination. God, my mate said he loves the streams. Is your mate subscribed? Is he subscribed or not? Yeah, Chai says, tell your mates to subscribe. We stream the races frequently. You definitely want to make sure that you are subscribed 100%. I've had an embargo update. I'll tell you, when it's really hot, I find it's not so appealing to record sim racing content all the time in the heat. He just did, very nice. We'll have to get the sub counter up. Elo says Lewis, if not it's Leclerc, so you're thinking Ferrari. Cited, I'm up for a runaway Lando win, he looks dominant this weekend. Lando's just looking strong. Lando's looking strong, he's a world champion. We need to give him some dues. Do AMD now sponsor Mercedes? AMD used to sponsor Ferrari, but I just saw a cover come off the Mercedes car that has AMD on it. I did not realise that AMD now sponsor Mercedes, if that's the case. Need to keep an eye on the sponsorship. Welcome Mr. F1, welcome Ryan Teddy Vlogs as well. We're just a few minutes away now from the start of the Grand Prix. 70 laps we're going to get in Hungary. So if you're joining us, you come to the right place. Wonder what happens if the Mercedes struggle here. Let's see what Hajar's going to do. Oh, good to see you, KCR Kip. Member for 47 months. Please put your claps in there for KCR Kip. Coming up to 4 years of membership. Not just that, but doing loads of liveries as well in Gran Turismo. We absolutely need to get that next livery project up and running. Good to see you, Kip. Mr. F1, you emailed me. I don't check my emails during a race, though. I'll have to check them after. The claps coming in. George looks to be struggling all weekend. Yeah, this I don't want to say it's make or break race for George here, but if Hamilton takes more points, gets more points ahead of George, then could be tough for George. Dare I say, if George has a tough season and throws toys out the pram, there's going to be a seat available. It's going to be a seat available that no one was really anticipating. And who's going to be odds on for that seat? Fernando Alonso to Mercedes. Heard it here first. Fernando Alonso to Mercedes to replace George Russell could be exactly what they need. That's like a Sunny Hayes thing, isn't it? You emailed me on my YouTube channel. Are you sure? Do I get emails on my YouTube channel? Max is a more likely candidate. Max, Oscar. I think Max is going to go to McLaren now. Oscar, that'll be a great move for Oscar. Bottas, no, it won't be Bottas. Epic saying Verstappen. But GP's gone to McLaren though. And maybe GP's going to get more of a higher role. Maybe GP's just done being a driver, lead driver, mechanic, or whatever the role is. He wants more than that. Cited Alfonso to get a point today. You heard it first. Heard it here second, because Spaceman was in there first, I think. Let me know if I'm right. But basically, quite a few people saying now Alfonso point. Let's see how the Williams are going to do as well. Elo, Oscar to Mercedes probably, but would he fight Kimi for #1 spot? Well, Oscar's been a pretty good #2 driver. Oscar may be the best #2 driver on the grid. Let's be real about it. Maybe between Oscar and Hadjar. What do we think? Welcome Apis. Let's go. Hulkenberg to Mercedes? No. Maybe? But Hulkenberg's got no points this season, which I find very surprising. Welcome Flint as well. You say Oscar looks like he's struggling. It's not that different in the championship. I tell you, if you want to see the championship standings, you're going to tell me honestly that Oscar's struggling? When he's only 11 points behind Lando? Well, I'm not sure he's struggling. Also, hasn't Lando got a podium? Why does it not say... Oh, he has a podium. Yeah, but I forget Oscar's got 2 podiums. It's really what it is. This weekend he is. Well, let's see. Let's see. Let's both hold that thought on whether he isn't or is. Because we'll find out definitively in 2 minutes. So the drivers are in the cars. The biggest question: who is #2? That's why I don't think there is a #2 at Ferrari. That's why. That's why I think Oscar definitely isn't. Feels like after last season feels like a #2 driver. So maybe that's exactly what Mercedes want. Welcome back. Welcome Simba. Welcome back yourself also. How long can Mercedes hold on to upgrade control? You mean over the customer teams? That's a good point. Yeah, mechanics are leaving the grid. Cars are on the move, as you can see. Welcome Snowline as well. Good morning, international F1 fans. Good to have you on board, Snowline. We're almost underway here in Hungary. Formation lap is underway. Let's see if I got my timer right. Tell you, I'm going to be quite a way behind for the start. I'm going to be like a minute behind for the start. It's crazy. Maybe more. Dark Cloud's got the hype. Feel free to put more hypes in. Could be. I don't see how this is not going to be a good race. At this moment in time, there is no scenario I can foresee that is a boring race. Every scenario I foresee is exciting. Maybe if Lando checks out. But I just think there's going to be so much racing behind. There's going to be so much wheel-to-wheel behind. I'm happy to be proven wrong. But I just think with the way the grid is, if the grid was like Kimi first, Russell second, I'd be like, oh, maybe not that exciting. But let's go indeed. George to Red Bull if Max leads, or Lindblad. Surely Lindblad. Even though Lawson's doing a job on Lindblad. Maybe not quite in qualifying yesterday, but generally this season. It does feel like anything can happen. That's the good thing about live sports. Shows a formation lap on Lando needs to go on the front. It's very important. Interestingly, in motorbikes, in the formation lap, they just do whatever they want. Like sometimes a leader will just stay at the back. So I'm going to be quite a long way behind you, by the way, when it comes to the start. But I'm going to call the start as I see it, like always. Yeah, and the Ferraris are on softs. Maybe ruining not having those fresh mediums. Aston's on softs as well. Bortoletto on softs, and Carlos Sainz on the soft as well. Yeah, I'm going to call it as I see it. I'm going to be so far behind you. Turn off the timer. $300,000 people in Hungary. Remember, Silverstone was 500,000, so that's a lot of people here, and it's a lot cheaper. It's a big Grand Prix, 300,000 over the whole weekend, so maybe it'll be 100 and something thousand there today. It's a good boost for the economy. I think it's attendance over the weekend when they do the stats. It's not how many people are at the track right now. But I'm going to call it as I see it. I'm going to, like I told you, I'm going to be away behind at the beginning. Size X car, 44 the win. Let's go right. Seeing the Williams grid up now. And then Lance Stroll and Valtteri Bottas is the last car gridding because Perez has gone into the pits. Green flag at the back. So how does the race start, or how did the race start? If we're honest, I'm about to find out. Green flag. 1 red light, 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. Red lights go out. Was it a good start for... Oh, someone stalled on the grid, it looks like. Someone stalled, maybe one of the Alpines, and it's a 1-2 McLaren. And the Ferraris hadn't had the best start, or Leclerc at least didn't. Hamilton tries to go around outside turn 1. It's going to be a bit of a pincer on exit. I think Verstappen's up to P3, if I see it, and Hamilton's going to try and dive up the inside of Verstappen. Surely that's not going to work, or maybe it will. In fact, I think it is. So Hamilton's recovering to P3, perhaps. No! Contact with Verstappen! They're okay. No one spun around, but definite contact between Hamilton and Verstappen there. Hamilton's front wing against the rear wheel, I think, of Max Verstappen. And Hamilton's still trying to go around the outside of Verstappen, but that opens the door to Charles Leclerc. So Leclerc is going to try and overtake Hamilton, but then I think it's turn 6 now, the chicane. Hamilton muscles him out. So Hamilton looking very, very, very racy, risking everything here. But he's ended up behind Max Verstappen, and the McLarens are already getting away. And there was a car that had a big problem on the grid, and I think it was a car maybe ahead of Hadjar. It looked like Hadjar had to dive out of the way. So, as it got to the end of the first lap, and Russell complaining, what's happened there? Oh, it was Russell, sorry. Oh my goodness. The conspiracy theory, it was Russell, it wasn't Alpine. It was Russell, obviously, with Hadjar right behind him. So Russell went into anti-stall. And you can see on the standings, he's all the way down in P18. Welcome, Yolanda Versteeg. It was Russell. And Hamilton is still all over Max Verstappen. He's on the soft tyre. He tries to cut through, and the exit of turn 1, not going to happen. Then trying to go around the outside of turn 2. Verstappen also says no, not happening. You can see Hamilton's got more grip than the Red Bull, but Verstappen is really defending this and probably loving it, having some good wheel-to-wheel racing. Will Hamilton again try and get up the inside at the chicane at turn 6? I will see. Toto on the remote cut-off again. Need to get a camera angle on Toto. Did he press the button there at the beginning? Yeah, Hamilton's trying to go for Verstappen. Verstappen's defending a lot, and Hamilton's going to end up burning up these soft tyres. This has really messed up Ferrari's strategy here, because I doubt they would have anticipated or wanted Verstappen getting in the way. But it looks like Verstappen's actually kind of closing in on Lando, because it's Oscar Piastri's in the lead of the race, which I hadn't even noticed. I just saw 2 McLarens at the front, but it is Piastri in the lead. So Piastri's had a phenomenal start. Right. We were debating whether Piastri's having a good season or right now, Piastri's looking pretty good. Hamilton tried again to move on Verstappen into turn 1, but no doing. And again, tried an interesting cutback. Oh, around the outside into turn 2. Hamilton and Verstappen. Again, so close to contact with the front wing of Hamilton and the rear wheel of Verstappen. The pace advantage is just so clearly with Lewis Hamilton, but he can't get it done. Yeah, Piastri looking pretty good right now, I have to say. And maybe the McLarens are just actually not looking that fantastic. Let's see, because you'd expect, with all the battling going on with Hamilton and Verstappen, that Piastri and Norris would be getting away with that. Just isn't the case. George Russell fighting with Behrman. George Russell's got a slog of a race here. He needs to keep cool and just recover what he can recover. Lando faster than Oscar, but Oscar can choose the pit. Yeah, that could be important. Need to defend against an undercut as well. Yeah, Hamilton is on soft, so it might be Hamilton going for an undercut, depending on what the strategy is for this race. Without DRS, you get a feeling that with DRS, Hamilton would get that done on Verstappen in turn 1. But with no DRSs here, Verstappen's just able to defend it. I wonder if the soft tyres are going to start to go off a little bit as well. Sighted, I wonder what kind of deg these cars' batteries in hot weather. Yeah, great point. Great point. The heat. I remember speaking with Sam Bird in Brazil when he did a last lap overtake on his teammate from the previous season, so he knew the car very well. He said, I knew that their battery was going to overheat. I knew it was going to overheat. And it was just the overheating that allowed Sam Bird to do a last lap overtake. Russell now getting past Alonso. Yeah, Behrman and Alonso under investigation. At the moment, Alonso is ahead of Behrman. Lance Stroll overtaking Alex Albon. That is full position. So if that may be an indication of how well the Aston Martins are doing this season. And now the McLarens are opening up a little bit of a gap here. Hamilton's got to work out what to do. If you're Charles Leclerc, do you start saying on the radio, let me have a go at Verstappen, I'll get it done? Potentially. Perez sounds like maybe he's lost overtake mode. Or maybe that's because he's dropped out more than a second behind Bottas. So a little bit more complicated this season. Yeah, if you're enjoying the race, please do hit the like button. So far, we have the McLarens out in front. Then Verstappen, then Hamilton, then Leclerc. Then Kimi, then Hadjar. As George Russell had a big issue at the start going into anti-stall. Got swallowed up by literally everyone. Went to literally, I would say, last place. He was last place actually, I think, the midpoint of turn 1. So that issue carried on for quite a while. Hamilton just could not quite get it done on Max Verstappen, but it was as close as you could get it. Yeah, Russell's on board. He was just getting overtaken left and right. Snowline, leave my Max alone, you hungry hyenas. The Ferraris are definitely coming for Max. And it looks like Lando made a mistake on lap 1. Went wide, and Oscar Piastri just swooped through. It wasn't necessarily a move by... Yeah, just Lando just made a mistake. In turn 2, I think. Running wide. That was all while Hamilton and Verstappen were properly battling right behind. No further investigation. Okay, on the Alonso Behrman one. Kaiden told you Piastri P1. Yeah, people were rating Piastri today. Either saying Oscar's definitely number 1 driver, is right now. What's going on with the standings there? I think just some issue on the GPS. I don't think anything drastic is happening. It'll sort itself out. But where is Kimi Antonelli in relation to the Ferraris? He's just a second behind now. So Kimi's just a second behind the Ferraris. As it's all going a little bit interesting on the map, put it like that. Verstappen also, again, the damping failed for short. The car is completely... So Verstappen's not happy in P3. Hamilton just can't get this done on Max Verstappen. Very different lines into turn 1 between Verstappen and Hamilton. And Hamilton is all over the back of Verstappen. He's half second off him. He's got his teammate behind, so he has a little bit of space to work it out and try and work out how he's going to do the attack. Four tenths behind now. Russell gets past Bortoletto, so Russell's making his way through, but his race is completely compromised, really. 100%. Mr. F1 has a YouTube channel, very nice. Interesting that Hamilton's on the fresh sauce, but Leclerc has gone for the scrubbed ones. Perez, meanwhile, under a starting infringement, has been noticed. Given he's started from the pit lane, I wonder what that is. Surely you can't really get any advantage if you start from the pits, we'll see. I think Hamilton might need to do a big move here, like surprising everyone. Track Matt currently drunk. Track Matt's been drinking. I think the standings one is completely correct though, so you can see that Hamilton's still very close to Verstappen. Joseph Piastri fast lap with clean air, and Lando backing a little bit for cooling engine. I mean, would be a great result for McLaren here if they can get a 1-2. And I wouldn't say Kimi's dropped off Charles Leclerc as well. When are we going to start to see pit stops? Will we see someone like Bortoletto? Oh, it's Lance Stroll. Speak of the devil. Lance Stroll has decided to come in. Will he go hard till the end? Is that going to be the strategy for Lance Stroll? Verstappen advantage Hamilton being on medium tyres, yeah, but Hamilton may undercut also. Ferrari need to get this right, having made some pretty bad decisions. Can they undercut onto one stop, or where will that put Hamilton out? There's not enough of a gap, I suspect. See that what happened to George? He had anti-stall at the beginning on the start, so he went all the way to the back, basically. So Stroll's gone from softs to mediums, so that's a 2-stop, because he won't be going mediums to the end of the race. And Stroll's got nothing to lose, really, because he's going to be in clean air now. Whereas, that's not a strategy Hamilton can do, because he'll end up... Also, 2.1 second stop for Aston Martin. Pretty quick. Happy Sunday times for you, Lando Versteeg, yep. 10 laps into the race. So now, I don't think Stroll has any clue about the meaning of the worst strategy. Doesn't really understand what's happened, but he's been pulled into the pits and he's gone onto the medium tyre. Let's see what that's going to mean for his lap times. It'll be quite interesting. Meanwhile, Leclerc has closed up to Hamilton a little bit, and Antonelli's just done his fastest lap. There might be some interesting strategy going on at the top of the race. Yeah, it's confirmed F1 in Malaysia. That is happening now. The Bahrain Grand Prix will be in Malaysia, weirdly. Norris complaining about dirty air. Well, yeah, Norris basically saying he can go faster with this dirty air. Well, it's kind of his fault he's in second place. Unforced error. Albeit Lando taking 4/10 out of Piastri last lap. Heard the price. Yeah, let us know when you find out about the pricing. Be interesting whether it's going to be a little bit cut price. Who's going to be next in the pits? What about Leclerc? What if they put Leclerc in? So Leclerc's 5 seconds off the lead. Whoa. I reckon he'd come out behind Russell. Mr. F1, your baby brother's name is Adam. Very nice. You'll land a good decision to bring the race to Malaysia. Yeah, we've always been asking for Malaysia. It's great to have it on. And Joe's saying Lando can push. Well, let's see, maybe he's playing a smart game, but he is catching Oscar. Side to the Astons are still way off the pace compared to the McLarens. Watching on ball for Alfonso. The acceleration is slow. Alfonso P16 at the moment. After getting into Q2 yesterday.
Okay, crack on.
He's ahead of both Williams though. He's comfortably ahead of Behrman actually. He's maybe going to try and do something on Colapinto. Potentially. Verstappen asking to do something about the shifts. It wouldn't be Verstappen without complaining about the downshifts, which is often ominous. Russell gets past Gasly now. But the pace for Russell is very slow compared to his teammate. 2 seconds a lap slower compared to Antonelli. Unfortunately for Russell, because he's in the traffic. So Lance Stroll's gone for a stop. Somehow Sergio Perez has only done 7 laps on these tyres, even though we're 12 laps into the race. So Perez presumably must have pitted really early. Does anyone know what's going on with Perez? How have his tyres only done 7 laps? Hamilton commenting about Verstappen being slow. We need to do something about it. It's easier said than done. So Albon's fighting with Bottas. Definitely not where Williams want to be, but it's where they are. Hamilton's still half a second behind Verstappen, so very close, but just can't do anything about it. That said, it's not like the pace is bad, because Verstappen was faster than both McLarens last lap. So, yeah. It's not like... And Verstappen's saying a lot of rear deg now as well. I wonder if Verstappen feels like he can win this race. Because if his pace is there or thereabouts with the McLarens... looks like we're in safety car window now. Safety car was to happen now, I think we'd see a lot of pit stops. Question is, would anyone go onto the hards and try and go all the way? And what is George Russell going to do? If you're Russell, do you go really long and hope for a safety car? Cited says Lewis was just stuck behind Max. Only mistake will down to pass Max at this point. Max doesn't tend to make mistakes, though he has recently has started to. Snowline, hot tip for Hamilton, drive around Max if you're so bothered. Oh, Albon's had a huge moment. Let's do another nation check. Let us know where in the world you're watching from today. For the Hungary Grand Prix. Albon had a huge moment. Big moment for Albon. Chai from Netherlands, Ruka from Netherlands, Vlatka Croatia, Constel from UK. Very European so far, but there's Snowline from Canada. Welcome PMC as well. Emad from Essex. Frozen Minneapolis. Yeah, box Hamilton. Hamilton is box. So Hamilton's doing something different. Hamilton's come in and put the hard tyre on. So he is doing that strategy. Yolanda from Netherlands. Elo Australia. Zero from Long Island, New York. But Hamilton from the UK has boxed early and he has got out ahead of Russell. So I was wondering what would happen there. And he's also just got Lindblad as well. He's got a gap to 4 seconds to Lawson. So maybe that's worked out quite nicely for Hamilton. Kaido, if Oscar doesn't win Hungary, I will shave my head bald. Okay, you've got to put that in Discord. Yeah, is Max going to respond? Dovey says Montana, US. Sighted from Cape Town. Very nice. Ah, Verstappen boxes. But how powerful is the undercut? Surely the undercut is worth the half a second. Surely it's worth half a second. So this is going to be very exciting on exit. But remember that Hamilton had to was held up a little bit by Lindblad, which I'm sure wouldn't have been the what they wanted to do. And Hamilton had to drive clean around the outside of Lindblad. So we'll have to see what happens on pit exit between Hamilton and Verstappen. But will Lindblad have saved Verstappen a little bit? I'm not sure. It looks like Hamilton is just about ahead. I'll have to wait to confirm that. But it looks like Hamilton got out just ahead. Hamilton in front. What was the stoplight for Red Bull? This is one where every 10th read does count, and it was a 2.5 second stop. And we just saw Lance Stroll do a 2.1, and maybe that was the difference. Goodness me, how did Hamilton come out ahead here? Because Verstappen was leaving the pit and Hamilton was barely halfway down the straight. There was not more than a couple of tenths in that. I think if Hamilton did a quicker than a 2.5 second stop, I think that was done in the pit stop. So that is a classic undercut. Classic undercut. Can't see Piastri boxing yet. Bottas was complaining about smoke in the cockpit, and Bottas has come in. So maybe there was some issue for Bottas there. Maybe a retirement for the Cadillac. Oh yeah, Bottas front left, and maybe that's why Piastri couldn't box, because Bottas was going so slowly through pit entry, and given how slow the Cadillacs are, Piastri was probably coming out to lap him. So I think Piastri had to abort boxing at the last moment, otherwise he would have been stuck behind Bottas, who was crawling through the pit entry with his left brake on fire. In fact, Bottas didn't even get into the pit. He's retired. He's pulled it up on the inside. And he's just tried to poke it around the corner. Now, I wonder whether they have to close the pit lane for that, because Bottas has pulled it up just before the speed limit line. Oh, Verstappen up the inside of Hamilton. Unbelievable. At turn 1. I wonder if Lawson was involved here, because I just wonder if they were overtaking Lawson, which is for position. So there's no issue with blue flags or anything. And Verstappen, at the same time, it looked like Hamilton was overtaking Lawson. Verstappen's overtaken Hamilton. Great move from Verstappen, and not for the first time this season we're seeing Hamilton and Verstappen go for it, which is fantastic to see, as Charles Leclerc's boxed. And Hamilton again stuck behind Max Verstappen. Thanks to UK member for 56 months. Please do clap that up in the chat, everyone. Put some 10s out of 10s there. Welcome, Mac, as well. I see you. Mighty Max. That was a big move. Snowline likes it. Try grinning so hard. Well done, Matt. That was a great move by Verstappen. Just absolutely pickpocketed Lewis Hamilton. Cited he went for a gap that did exist. Lando's a new race leader as Oscar Piastri's boxed. Leclerc is boxed as well. All these drivers going on the hard tyre. If there is a safety car though, Someone like Liam Lawson, someone like Hadjar, someone like Antonelli would benefit. Someone like Lando would benefit. Is Lando going to box this lap? Yes, there was a yellow in the pit lane, but the pit lane's clear now. Just wonder if that affects anyone who was boxing around there. Verstappen saying that was quite special, or been told. I don't want to complain, but again, that was moving under braking. I mean, it's nice action, but it's not right. I think Verstappen effectively complained that Hamilton was moving under braking. Max saying it was a great move. Yeah, Lando boxes. He's going to shadow box Oscar Piastri then. Must be some issue with Perez's tyre thing, because it still says 7 laps on the mediums, by the way. I'm guessing that's not right. So Hamilton will try and get back on Verstappen, but this is really for the podium, I'd say. Albeit, let's see what Kimi does now, who's in the lead of the race. And Hadjar as well. As Esteban Ocon pits. 3.2 second stop for Lando, so definitely not the quickest stop ever. Yeah, I can see Bottas's car has been removed. There's no issue coming into the pits now. And Piastri is being held up by Hadjar. Lando just slotted in behind him. I tell you, Verstappen and Hamilton are almost caught up with Lando. Like, that is... Verstappen's half a second off Lando. You know, it's really crazily close here. It's not a race where the McLarens are running away with it. Like, Verstappen almost undercut Lando. It's just kind of crazy. Hadjar's under pressure from Oscar Piastri. Oh, and it's all backing up now because Hadjar's basically backing up everyone. And Hamilton had a stab at Verstappen, didn't quite work. Now both McLarens get past Hadjar. Is Hadjar on pit entry? Well, how's that happened? And Hadjar past Verstappen. Has Hadjar come off? Or is Hadjar boxed? What's going on with Hadjar then? Everything's going pretty crazy. So Hadjar was backing everyone up. I wouldn't be surprised if he boxed. Did he box? Did he box? He didn't box. He didn't box. So he went round the last corner. And Piastri was all over him. Lando right behind. Went down the straight. Past the start-finish line. Hadjar stayed on the outside. Oscar got past him, no problem at all. Hadjar turned in, but Lando took a really tight line and squeezed him out as well. So all these drivers on new tyres. Oh, Lando then went round the outside of Hadjar at turn 2. Verstappen followed suit. Hadjar really slowed down. Hadjar basically let Verstappen through. And then it would have defended much harder against Hamilton. No surprise there. That's how team racing works. And he did, but Hamilton went round the outside, I think at turn 5 of Hadjar. Yeah, there was a Hadjar train for a moment. Now Hadjar boxes. Not sure that's really the role Hadjar wants to be playing now. He wants to be at the front of his own position, not just holding up other cars, because he basically effectively is a pit stop behind. So Antonelli's still out there. It'll be interesting to see where Antonelli comes out. Obviously there's a safety car that will massively benefit Antonelli. And Russell's only 8 seconds behind Leclerc, but he needs to box. Just wonder whether it should have boxed Russell a bit earlier instead of doing this long strategy. Yeah, Albon's going to be pretty close to a penalty. So now we've got Verstappen just over a second behind Lando and Hamilton just over a second behind Verstappen. So this is really this is actually the Formula 1 race we've waited years to see or follow, which is a genuine battle for the leads. And I'd say Antonelli, Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton, or Leclerc could probably all win this. Lando goes fastest. Well, if there's a safety car try, we'll have to see. If there's a safety car or VSC, I don't know what will be enough for Antonelli to stay in the lead, but it will definitely save a load of time. Save a load of time. By the way, everyone, if you're enjoying the stream, do hit the like button. Let me make it massive. Where is it? Absolutely smash the like button. We can get to 100 likes. Definitely get to the 100. Two goats are fighting. Where is Lance Stroll? Lance Stroll and Colapinto. Yeah, it's pretty close between them. As Alfonso overtakes Lindblad, but also Behrman maybe had an issue, I'm not sure. Welcome Rog107 from New Zealand. Let us know you're supporting Liam Lawson.
Focus on the right head.
50 laps to go here. As Alfonso and Bortoleto have gone a long way on those soft tyres. A long way. 27.5. Let's see what happens when they go into the pits, which they'll have to do fairly soon, and then presumably they'll go hard, so they won't be able to go mediums for 49 laps. But even the hard runners, is it a one-stop or a two-stop race? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Piastri and Lando are catching Antane now. Russell's just on his fastest lap of the race. I wonder if Russell's trying to use up these tyres. Lawson's boxed. So we'll see where Lawson ends up. Will he be ahead of Bortoleto? Nope. Bortoleto and Alfonso still need to pit. So lots of different strategies going on here. Many different permutations. Mr. F1 Hamilton complaining Verstappen is slow, yeah, but he needs to get the move done. Needs to get that move done. How long till the minimap is back to normal? I'm not sure. You know, I can try and restart it, but let's see. But no guarantees. We've had this before on the minimap and stuff. So. McLaren drivers have been told Anthony on a one stop. Ooh, whoa, he's stopping now, is Kimi. So Kimi's in the pits right now. Let's see where he's going to end up. Is he going to be ahead of George Russell? Imagine he's going to be ahead of Russell, but let's see. That'll be frustrating for Russell there. To see Kimi come out of the pits ahead of him when Russell hasn't stopped yet. So Oscar Piastri retakes lead of the race and does the fastest lap of the race as he takes that lead. With the TV direction, you can't tell Kimi's currently leading. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like it's not a true lead, but he's back down to P6 now. 6 seconds behind Leclerc, but let's see the pace. He's on slightly fresher tyres as Behrman boxes again. No, for the first time, I think. So Behrman comes in for the first time, drops all the way down. Is Bottas drunk? No, he's in. His brakes were on fire. George still going mediums. Yeah, George is going long on the mediums. But says poor Cadillac. Yeah, Cadillac are done here, aren't they? Actually, no, Perez still going. But he's been lapped. And he's got that start infringement being investigated. Jay says, bro, Kimi too good. Not sure. But the car Kimi's got to be down in P6. But let's see what happens with the lap times now. That's going to be the interesting thing. Whether he can catch or how quick he can catch Leclerc. Russell hoping for safety car. It would work for him. So there's Antonelli's first sector. And it's absolute fire. Absolute fire. 5/10 faster than Lewis Hamilton in first sector alone. About to wish we had more overtaking on. I think that adds to the characteristic of it, though. I mean, to see Verstappen and Hamilton battle like that has been great. That's what we want to see, to be honest. Second sector for Kimi, not quite as impressive as the first sector. It's amazing how close Verstappen, Hamilton and Leclerc are in the second sector last lap. I mean, Hamilton and Leclerc were identical. There's quite a lot of corners there. Frozen Verstappen sitting back waiting for the McLarens to take each other out. Let's see. I need to re-watch that Verstappen overtake on Hamilton. So there comes Kimi's first lap, 24.1. Fastest lap of the race. Second lap quicker than Verstappen. Basically second lap quicker than Hamilton and Leclerc as well. So Kimi is going to be arriving at this party. He's going to be crashing it. And Leclerc has overtake on Hamilton. I wonder if Ferrari are going to try and swap something there. I think Alfonso and Lindblad are battling. Welcome, War Curiosities. What about Russell? Russell just an absolute no man's land. Alfonso being P12 is good, yeah, but it's not really P12 because he's going to box. He's going to come out. I worry that he's going to come out around Ocon. Let's see. Interesting, if Antone's on a one-stop, Hamilton definitely can't be on a one-stop. So the only way the two-stop works for Hamilton is if he goes on mediums at the end, but they don't have fresh mediums. This may be the problem. So you're going to go on scrubbed mediums or softs again. I don't understand how you get to the race and you don't have a single set of mediums. Like, what's the point? What? Isn't that just so stupid? The points are won in the race. You come in with a load of tyres and you just basically use them all in practice and you don't have any for the race. So you got data on the medium tyre that you can't actually use in the race. Ah, free practice went so well. We worked out that the medium tyre is by far the fastest race tyre. Great. How many sets do we have for the race? Well, that's the thing. We use them all up testing it. Welcome, nobody. It's just a bit all over the shop today. Is Bottas saying like Perez nostril on the brakes? It was on fire, the front left. Colapinto gets past Albon. So the gap, one of the gaps to look out for is, well, to me, all of the gaps at the top are exciting, but Antonelli coming into Charles Leclerc. Yeah, Piastri on the radio saying his rear tyres don't feel great. I wonder if someone in that top six, probably not Kimi, is going to think about turning this into a two-stop, perhaps a little bit earlier. Because the field is so spread now, you'll probably be able to get past anyone you need to. Max says stupid is as stupid does. Who's that? Now it is really hot out here as Gasly gets past Alfonso. It's really hot, so will that affect retirements and possibly safety cars? We'll see. JJ McLaren had to let Lando pass. He's losing time behind Oscar. Yeah, but I think he can manage the tyres. Maybe Lando could go. Maybe Lando's in. Is he in one-stop territory? Leclerc also saying he's losing quite a bit of time. As Albon boxes, first pit stop for Albon. Rob, using all the mediums to get data, not having race tyres left is the most Ferrari thing possible. And then it's like, yeah, well, let's just use them in Q1. Why don't we just burn... oh, we actually had a set left over. Let's just burn them in Q1. Imagine you come in, you're the race day engineer. You come in for race day. Right, guys. Right, I'm feeling good for this race. Where's my medium tyres? And the guys who looked after it for qualifying. Ah, we actually used them in qualifying. To be fair, Ferrari can go soft, hard, hard. They can do soft, hard, hard. As Russell boxes finally. Welcome Fires. Got to say, I'm glad my home country Malaysia is back in F1. Yes, very indeed. So Russell boxes. Let's see where he's going to come out. Surely he's going medium to hard. He's surely going hard to the end. The Gherkin driver track is just showing the future F1 where teleportation becomes a norm. Yeah, no more over DRS. It's up pure teleport mode. You just don't want to teleport into another driver, otherwise it gets very messy. Cited maybe scrub tyres are the way to go. F2 guys all had scrub sets. Well, they do have a scrub set. They have a scrub set of mediums. So maybe actually it's 8D chess from Ferrari that they have a scrubbed set. Maybe their scrub set from Q1 is genius. Leclerc's all over Hamilton it seems, or very, very, very close. I can see Plee says come on Alfonso. 27 laps on the soft for Bortoleto and Alfonso right now. That's got to be rough. What's the lap time saying? See, Alfonso is going to fall behind Lance Stroll here, but Stroll boxed really early. I don't understand the Stroll strategy. Alfonso is definitely on the one stop, but then why would you not do one stop and medium hard? Why would you do it on the softs? I don't know. Piastri dominating. Well, Norris has dropped off quite a bit. Did Norris make a mistake? Norris was very close. He was within a second. But now Norris has dropped off quite a bit. He's dropped off a second. Alfonso one stop too, yeah. What happened to Norris? Did he run wide? Did he run wide on 4? He did run wide on 4. Almost. He did go across the grass. Yep. So turn 4, Lando went wide, and that's where he lost a load of time. I thought they were going to stop Leclerc not really catching Lewis. He's there or thereabouts though. Welcome Mohammed fires Danielle. Aston Martin basically have a new car. Let's see what happens when Alfonso pits. And then he'll try and go to the end. But if there's lots of people trying a one stop, it'll be interesting if there's a safety car in like the last quarter of the race. Does some drivers go, you know what, I'm going to convert this. Yeah, there's a ton of upgrades. There'll be a sheet somewhere with all the upgrades they brought, because I have to declare them. As Bortoleto pits off the softs. So let's see where Bortoleto's going to end up. I mean, if the one stop is faster than the two stop and other drivers doing two stops, it could be genius. It could be genius still. Yeah, weather behaving as well. I can't see any sign of rain, to be honest. But I have been to Hungaroring when it's rained. Russell now, fastest driver on track. Hamilton boxes again, so Hamilton going two stop. Hamilton going two stop. Hamilton's the driver is doing it. Hamilton goes two stop. Okay, so Hamilton going to go for the undercut again on Verstappen. And what does Verstappen do now? Does he stick to his guns thinking, you know what, I can win this? Or does he cover off Hamilton thinking, okay, it's quite easy to cover him off? And what does Leclerc do now? Does Leclerc go long? So he's going to end up behind Hadjar again. Which is really, I don't think, what Ferrari would have wanted at all. And he's on hards again. So he's gone soft, hard, hard. 40 laps to go. This is a very similar strategy to what they did in Austria, right? Which I don't think worked out for them. Like this short middle stint. Cupcake says small chance of rain about 7. Okay, it's too late. Everyone go crazy in chat. Feel free to go crazy. We do have the best mods in the game. Look like a pretty slick sit with 2.4. Terrible. But he's behind Hadjar. So Hamilton came out of the pits. And Hadjar was... yeah. Quite a bit ahead. Hadjar locked up into turn 1. If it had been a 1.9... if it had been a 1.9... Piastri saying we need more pay, being told, and he's been saying, yeah, I don't really have any. The car's being super inconsistent. They're like, come on, Oscar, show us what you can do now. And he's like, I can't. The car's not very good. So yeah, Hamilton's stuck behind Hadjar, but neck and neck now. Surely Hamilton's going to get it done into turn 1. Looks like he has.
Okay, crack on.
Hamilton's had to really work hard for this. Probably quite enjoyable to get all these moves done. But no one else has followed Hamilton on this strat. Because I wonder if the others are going... it's a long way to go from the others on to the end. I think even for Hamilton there's a long way to go on these hard tyres, to be honest with you. That said, Alfonso's done 30 on the softs now. Broken Nabil online. Yeah, Hamilton got that done pretty straightforwardly into turn 1. Now he's on the move, unlocking the pace, but he's 17 seconds behind Anthony. What? When did the F1 rules change? No, it's McLaren looking good here. What's Ferrari doing? I don't know about that stop. Unless they're worried about traffic because he's got clear air now. But if Kimi's going to go to the end, it's not going to work for Hamilton. But to us, I don't think Kimi can get to the end. I'd be very surprised if Kimi gets to the end. Yeah, I'm sure Hadjar would have liked to have held up Hamilton. Oh, dummy pit stop from McLaren. McLaren were out. Hamilton fastest lap yet. Alfonso 31 laps into his soft stint. And Lando being told, we can't, I'm afraid. Did Lando want to do something, but he's not allowed to because he's in second place, I wonder. Joseph, Lando's strategy has to be offered at Oscar. It's way faster than Oscar. Did he want a box, or was he not allowed to? Oh, Norris saying, you mean you won't let me? I'm miles faster. Ooh. And now Piastri boxes, so they wouldn't let him undercut. They wouldn't let him undercut. Something happened interesting there, because there were tyres out in the pit box. So if factually, if Lando had boxed, I think his tyres were ready for him. But that's going to be crazy infuriating. And Norris saying, I'll pull out a 10-second gap with no tyres. This has got very spicy at McLaren. This is what should have happened last season. If this had happened last season could have been an all-time season. But they were all so polite. But now Lando's saying, well, I'll smash my teammate without your help, McLaren. Oh, the mask is slipping a little bit. So Oscar's come in. Obviously, they have to start protecting themselves against the Hamilton undercut. What stop was it for Piastri? Yeah, they didn't want Lando to come. To be fair, seems pretty clear by McLaren. Like the car who's first gets the priority, apart from what happened in Monza last year, but we'll gloss over that. But now what does Lando do? Does Lando say, if Lando's really got... Lando's in the bind now because he won't have the pace over fresh tyres unless he thinks he does. Given Hamilton's doing 29.3 and Norris done a 29.6 first sector, Norris needs to box, otherwise he's going to get battered. Norris is just in a bind here. He's just had lap times to lead to as well. Or maybe that was the previous one, I can't remember. Antonelli's racking him up. So Lando basically needs to box, otherwise it's very silly. Yeah, Lando needs to pull that 10-second gap while he's being undercut. So Piastri's just done his fastest first at 29.3, which is faster than Lando. Lando's just being... It's not like he's being undercut because he was... The only thing Lando can do is say, I'll go to the end. So let's see, is Lando going to box? I think if Lando boxes, he's just had a bit of a tantrum. Just throwing his toys out the pram. So is Lando boxing? If Lando doesn't box, which I don't think he is, he's kind of sacrificing his race. Right, Alfonso's in the box now. Alfonso's in the box. It's quite an interesting Grand Prix, this. This is one of the most interesting strategic Grand Prix we've had for a very long time. Catalunya is good. He has to go long now, made his bed. Yeah, he has to go long, but Piastri is 20 seconds behind him. But maybe Piastri was a bit hasty in covering off Lewis, and actually the other drivers are going, no, we're gonna go a lot longer into the stint because we're gonna equalise it. We're not gonna do 17 laps on the first hards and then 35 laps on the second. In fact, Hamilton already saying, am I going to be in trouble at the end of this race? And he's being told, now we are fighting position with Max, then we manage tyres. So I think Hamilton thinks maybe he's gone too early because only Oscar's covered him off. So maybe Lando, maybe the team were trying to look after Lando, but Lando has been so distrustful, he didn't believe them. Joseph, Lando has to stay out or come in now. I would stay out for trying to build a gap for Piastri. I think Lando's committed to stay out. He's got to stay out for another, like, 10 laps and sort of equalise the last two stints. By the way, Kimi's all over Charles Leclerc is what's happening right now also. I mean, Kimi could go softs at the end if he needs another stop. Ocon's in the pit. So yeah, Alfonso's gone all the way down to P19. And he's going to the end on medium. So Alfonso's going soft to mediums. There goes Ocon in the box. Leclerc's boxing as well. That will release Kimi, ironically. And interestingly, Russell is only 9 seconds behind Charles Leclerc, but and tyre difference is only 9 laps on the hard tyre. So Russell's been putting in some solid laps basically. In fact, you can see his last lap of 24.5. It's pretty handy. Second lap quicker than Verstappen. Will the top three be able to finish the race? I think there's no chance Verstappen finishes the race in these tyres. Martin, 35 laps on mediums till the end. Is that possible with the new Aston for Alfonso? He's going to try it for sure. Safety car, mate. I think it's very interesting right now. Very interesting. Let's have a look at the lap times with Norris and Piastri, because I have to say, Piastri's had a shocker in Sector 2, 31.5, but Lando's on a 30.8. So let's look at the lap times then. Maybe Lando is gonna, maybe it is gonna be a world champion drive from Lando. Because look at that Sector 2 from Oscar Piastri last time, and also Sector 3. Is Oscar in trouble? It's a slow lap, 25.5. He's a second slower than Lando. As Alfonso gets past Sainz. Is Oscar Piastri in some form of trouble here? We need to see what happens in Sector 1. If he has a poor Sector 1, he's in trouble. Oscar Piastri's in trouble. Oscar's in trouble, everyone. Oscar's in trouble. I don't know what's going on. I can't see, but I'll tell you for free here first. Oscar Piastri's in trouble right now. He's got some problem. Or he's got some mad new delta to get to the end here because he's boxed early. Something's going on with Oscar's pace. What's Sector 2 going to say? It was a high 31 last time, or a mid 31. So mid 31 again. It's almost exactly the same. It's almost like he's got a delta here that's very different to Lando's delta. Maybe Lando's able to burn up the tyres because he's got another stop. As Leclerc and Hadjar, I think, were battling. Saw that correctly. Might be Hadjar filtering through the field again. Slightly different strategy. Now Alfonso up to P14, and we don't think he needs to box again. So, but Gasly's 30 seconds up the road. Whoa. Carlos made contact, back marker. With who? Not with Oscar. Surely not with Oscar. Surely Oscar didn't make contact with Carlos Sainz. That would be crazy. I think I just saw Hamilton go past a very slow Carlos Sainz, so. Oscar's on the radio. Was there contact? Has Oscar picked up damage? Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe Oscar's picked up damage. Sector 1 now, he's picked it up. He's picked it up. So, I don't know what's happened. Right, I'm going to get a replay. So, Oscar Piastri, there is an Aston Martin and there is a Williams involved ahead of them, battling. So, Piastri is in the de facto lead of the race. It must be Carlos Sainz. Did Carlos Sainz know he was there? Oh, big contact between Oscar and Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz basically ran over Oscar's wing. And Oscar ready to get out of the way, you idiot. Oh my god. Basically, Carlos Sainz didn't even know Oscar was there, I'd say. Welcome, Mahidi. I'll watch your Silverstone GP and Austrian scenes. Welcome back. Welcome back for the trilogy. Norris boxes now. The question is, Norris may have the undercut done. Norris may have the undercut done here because of some bad luck for Oscar Piastri. I think it is going to be like that. I think Lando is striking while the iron's hot. And I just wonder, is Oscar going to have some damage to that front wing? Thanks, Mahidi. So Lando came in. It was a slow stop, though. Something went wrong in that stop. Yeah, and the undercut, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. Lando was well ahead because of all that time that Oscar lost. And now, Lando's ahead and he has a tyre advantage. Piastri being told the car looks okay, but yeah, tangled up. To be fair, I don't think the truly great drivers get tangled up with back markers like that. As harsh as that may sound. But yeah, confirmed. Lando is now ahead of Oscar Piastri. And I wonder if... Well, if Lando thinks... Lando's got to pull out that 10-second gap now. That's what Lando's got to do. Now what's Behrman been up to? Surely Behrman hasn't been... Oh, Behrman's just had a spin on his own. In turn 2. Robert, stop Alfonso. Alfonso has stopped. He's gone from the softs to the medium. P14 at the moment. Chai, where do you reckon Verstappen would end up if he pitted? Good question. It looks like he's been undercut significantly by Hamilton and Leclerc. But he can easily go to the end now. So I reckon he would come out behind Hamilton. But Hamilton may need to stop again. So that could be an interesting one. As now Peen comes out of the pits and Lando needs to negotiate it. Yeah, Lando's now absolutely schooling Oscar Piastri. Very fractious race for the McLaren team drivers. Oscar's that Sainz, Acosta's that target is to get to the end on this tyre. He's saying, oh mate, don't talk to me now. Nice of you guys to factor that one in, by the way. Thanks. It's completely broken down at McLaren. It's completely broken down. The Papaya Army, Papaya rules. Papaya rules. The treaty's been broken. It's like the Strait of Hormuz in Woking at the moment there. There's absolutely no law. They're all going for each other. Verstappen boxing. So is he going to come out in between the Ferraris like I expected? Oh, it's close between Leclerc and Verstappen, it seems. Very, very, very close. And Verstappen going softs. Verstappen going softs, everyone. Is that softs to the end? It's like a scrub set. Or is he doing a 3-stop? Is Verstappen on the 3-stop? Mr. F1 going far. What for? Piastri. Engineer told to shut up. Is that for Oscar? Oscar's lost his cool. I don't think that was the team's fault, by the way. I think Oscar got priority and he should have foreseen that they were battling and like I said, I think a great champion doesn't get that mistake. Like Oscar losing his cool attitude, I thought he was the most... No, I disagree. I think Oscar was ruthless. The way Oscar went from Alpine to McLaren, you know, was absolutely ruthless. And I was disappointed last year when he seemed to lose that. He didn't do anything ruthless last year when he should have done. He should have... I think at Monza last year, he should have held his station. He could be a world champion. And the way I frame it is that Oscar's not a world champion because he lost that ruthless edge. And now he just sounds like he's whining a little bit. And he's getting absolutely battered by Lando now. Yeah, Kimi in the lead of the race. That's an interesting question. Where does Kimi come out? Probably around Leclerc, but then can he just go to the end on whatever tyres he comes out on? As Lawson boxes. Yeah, Lando's up to 5.3 already. 5.6 now. I mean, that's Piastri's best middle sector of the race. And it's 4/10 slower than what Lando's just done. I have Hamilton breathing down his neck as well. Yeah, I'd say it's broken down at McLaren now. That relationship. Frozen, fascinating strategy all round. Yeah, and it's not done yet. It's a very strategic race. Still 27 laps to go as well. We're getting a real proper feast today. This is a proper Grand Prix. Sunfire guy, will Ferrari strategy mess up this time? Well, it is Ferrari, so you can never rule it out. Lando's just absolutely battering Oscar now. Yeah, if Kimi gets a cheap pit stop now, although Lando's all over the back of Kimi. Lando's within a second of Kimi, not that you can tell on the crazy map. But Lando's within a second of Kimi. So what's going to happen here? And also Verstappen on the softs. What does that mean? Verstappen, is there any proof around me that the softs can last? Yes, there is. Me saying, but they're already not good. It's unbelievable. It's only Alfonso who's gone that long far on the softs. Martin, when Oscar came to Zandvoort last year, he was leading championship with quite a few points ahead. He had a horror weekend in Zandvoort and after that lost it totally. Yeah, it's not quite. I mean, Lando, to give him credit, also went through stuff like at Montreal. But Lando came back, you know? Lando came back. Leclerc yellow flag infringement noted. And Carlos Sainz getting a penalty for that incident with Piastri, I think. So it's not a good look for Carlos Sainz, because Carlos Sainz's PR team, his brother mainly, I think is trying to construct this thing about how Carlos Sainz is a much better driver than should be in a Williams car. And all of the poor performance is entirely on Williams. But that's a pretty poor mistake that Sainz made. Welcome, Phantom. Aston Martin Masterclass. Look at this, 14th and 15th. Alfonso 14th, but he's 6 seconds off Gasly. Yeah, so Gasly's done that pit stop and stayed ahead. So that's what's happened. But the maybe the Audi's not going to go to them, although Alfonso did 33 laps on it. Filthy, what lap are you watching at? About lap 45. Yeah, Lando all over Kimi. We'll be getting held up a little bit. Surely we'll get it done into turn 1, you'd imagine. Does it suit Kimi to fight this? Look at the gap between Lando and Oscar though. Lando said I'll pull out a 10-second gap. That's like genuine aura if he does it. Genuine aura moment. If Phantom, if you're watching, we've got to make a clip of that. We've got to make a clip of the radio. I'll pull out a 10-second gap and then we show the gap and we put some like mad aura music. We've got to do it. It has to be done. If he gets that done. At the moment it's 5.9 seconds. Free energy, Fernando Alfonso. Free energy now. It's like when it's really windy and the energy's free. So yes, Lando, good boy. What happened to turn 1 then? Did Kimi defend? No. Lando made for a big dive up the inside. Kimi tried to cut back. It was neck and neck on exit. In fact, Kimi was ahead on exit. Into turn 2, Lando with another dive, and basically the body language signals, this is my position. I own this. I'm dominating this. Get out of the way. 5 Oh, sorry, 7.3. Sorry, I was watching the gap to Antonelli. Yeah, 7.4 to Lando. He's going to do the 10-second gap. Remember, I backed Lando to win this race. Now Lando's got to just look after everything, manage it, see it to the end, do a world champion drive. Why is Verstappen on softs? To be honest, I don't really know. If it was mediums, I could understand it. I don't really know why he's on a soft tyre. It's a bit of a rogue choice from my man. Well, Antonelli's not going to get to the end. Or is he? Because if Antonelli gets to the end on these tyres, but he's 1:26.3, I guess he was battling. But a 26.3 is very slow. If Verstappen's going to be 2 seconds a lap into him. Behrman ignoring blue flags and spinning. Maybe it's connected. That move from Lando was compliments of Danny Rick last late breakers. Is a very good move. Very good move. Two good moves, I would say. Turn 1 and turn 2. Because in between turn 1 and turn 2, he was behind again. Verstappen half-second lap faster than Hamilton. Not last lap. Miriam, how come the map hasn't been fixed yet? I don't know, it's just some telemetry thing. But I can tell you that the standings are good. Standings are all good. Verstappen with his fastest lap of the race, 23.9. It's pretty quick. And Antonelli now is not battling, done a 24.8. So if Kimi does 24.8 and can go to the end, that'll be interesting. Welcome, Sold Out. No such thing as too late. Yeah, making it for the end of the race, the business end. Can Russell go to the end? Russell's achieved really nothing in this race. Started 7th. Looks like he's going to finish 7th. May end up finishing behind Hadjar, we'll see. It's just a waste of a race for Russell. Kimi's P2, but I really doubt he's going to finish P2. Well, he's not going to stay in P2 for the rest of the race. He could actually finish P2, but he's not going to stay in P2. Other stream people saying we're just getting jammed. Wow. Is it GPS jamming going on? I think that's nonsense. I don't buy it. I do not buy it. Yes, let's see what Kimi's going to do, because if Kimi wants to box, he can do it. Max took the wrong tyre choice. Car was still heavy with fuel and deg is high. Yeah, he could have... If he, yeah, I don't know what he's doing. If he ends up boxing again, then it's really stupid, because he should have put the softs on at the end. So the gaps have stretched out a little bit. Leclerc's 3 seconds off Verstappen. Verstappen 6 seconds off Hamilton. Hamilton's 3 off Piastri. But the big one for me in the top is Kimi Antonelli. What's Kimi going to do? What's Kimi going to do? And where was the yellow flag infringement? When was the yellow flag? We haven't had a yellow flag for ages, apart from when Bottas came to a stop, but I don't think Leclerc was boxing around then. That must have been a dramatic stay out for Oscar when that happened. So if you're Kimi now, your pace is decent. It's faster than Piastri, same as Hamilton, faster than Leclerc, faster than Russell. Well, that's not really relevant. So your pace is decent. Do you come in now or do you stay out? Maybe the moment that Behrman was spinning. Maybe. So what do you do if you're Kimi? Because if you box, you're coming out behind Leclerc. But then can you be a second a lap quicker? Maybe. Kimi track limits, and you've got to be careful about track limits as well. Welcome, Janusz Suluga. It looks like there's tyres waiting in the garage for Kimi. It's a question of when. Yellow flag is out, everyone. Track clear. It looked to be around turn 6. Maybe someone ran wide at turn 6 and triggered an automatic yellow. There's a momentary yellow flag there. Leclerc complaining about, can you advise a bit more? There's something that feels wrong with the car. It looks like overheating. You can get back in the rhythm. Basically, drive faster. And Leclerc says, which rhythm? Drive faster, just do what we told you. What did you tell me? So yeah, momentary yellow was out. By the way, worth saying that Hamilton has ended up ahead of Verstappen. And I've actually kind of forgotten how that happened. I think... Is it because Verstappen boxed? But... Verstappen, we told you might have some fun towards the end. I'm not sure Verstappen's going to get... Feels like he's going to get there, though, on these softs. He is faster at the moment. He is faster than Hamilton. Oh, is Sergio Perez very slow? Sergio Perez is very, very, very slow. Something's flapping on the suspension. I'm never buying a Cadillac. So presumably Perez is retired. Look at the speed he's going, is very slow. How many strikes does Anthony have track limits? I think he has at least 2. Kimi getting warned of track limits is as common as Russell seeing rain, Verstappen swaying about downshifts, and Lewis complaining about his tyres being gone. Bono, my tyres. Edo saying Hamilton P2. You think Hamilton gets it done on Piastri? Tennis Cadillac a joke. Yeah, they should... Phantom, if you're watching, we need to do another meme short. It needs to be that radio with Leclerc, and Leclerc be told which rhythm, and then we have to play the rhythm of the night. And it's like another aura short. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to send you a message right now. What was the other one we said we'd do? 2 shots. Norris 10-second gap. And then Leclerc, which rhythm? They're going to do absolute numbers. Apparently Kimi got a huge warning from his dad. What, on the radio? VNet, you can jam GPS from afar. Trying to jam GPS. Do you have any experience of jamming GPS? Is that not very dramatic if the GPS has been jammed? Kimi's dad's like, Kimi, this is... Don't mess around with it. Don't mess with the track limits. Still no box for Kimi though. 30 laps in, 18 to go. Oh, okay, it was an interview. It wasn't on the radio. So Verstappen on those softs is interesting. It's very interesting. 23.9. Lando's done the 10-second gap, by the way. It's happened. It has happened. Okay, 18 laps to go. Who is going to pit again at the top, or is no one going to pit again? I think the longest we've had so far is Fernando on the 33 on the softs, but Lindblad's coming up to 31 on the hards. If Lindblad boxes, that's going to be very interesting. If Stroll calls a safety car, we'll have to see. He's P15 at the moment. How long will Max's tyres last? We need to see. It's really going to be into the unknown. It's going to be a little bit more than Fernando did. Lando's deserved winner for this race. He earned it. Well, let's see. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. It's not over. Kimi boxes. Kimi boxes. Kimi boxes now. This is going to be interesting because Kimi is going to be very fast. For a government, it might be. So which government? Is it Bahrain? The Bahrainis are jamming it. Yeah, he got his 10-second gap. We need to make some content out of that. I'm going to pull out a 10-second gap. And saying, why can't we go to the end? Not sure what the answer was, but he's not. So new hards for Kimi. Yeah, I'm not well, what's Max's pace like? The pace is good, though. Pace is good, but I think the pace would have been good on mediums. Maybe he doesn't have a fresh mediums. So Kimi's P6. But he's going to look at the Kimi pace. Kimi, I expect to be doing 22s now. Lando, you're clearly the fastest car and have nothing to prove. So the snaps in turn 4 and 8 no more. So, but I think Lando wanted to get that 10-second gap. His engineer should go, Lando, you've got a 10-second gap now. It's done. Just bring it home. Yeah, Antonelli on fresh hards. Russell boxing as well. So Russell is going to end up behind Hadjar. Wow, you wouldn't think Mercedes is dominating the season looking at this leaderboard. This timings. Right, let's see Kimi now. 28.9, sector 1. Half a second quicker than Lando. Let's see. Sector 2 looking like it's quick as well. We're going to get 29 in sector 2, I bet. Is it a 29 in sector 2? No, 30 dead, but pretty close. Is it going to be a 122 lap time? If it's a 122, he'll catch Shah within a lap. (122.5). It is a 1 minute 22. I don't think Max can last 25 laps, but he needs to make a decision now. Does he have another fresh set? I think he's bound by it. Hamilton gets past Piastri. Is that a mistake from Piastri then? That must be a mistake from Piastri, unless he's boxing. Is it a mistake from Piastri? Oscar, what have you done? What have you done, Oscar? What have you done? What have you done, Oscar? Yellow flag. Oscar, what have you done? Oscar. Come in, Oscar. Oscar, come in. VSC's come out. Wow. Hamilton, what do you do now? Whoa. What do you... Verstappen, what do you do? Kimi, you should have stayed out. Russell should have stayed out. VSC deployed. What has Oscar Piastri done? Oh, mechanical issue for Piastri. Mechanical issue for Piastri. He's driving around slowly. He's driving around slowly, and he must have come to a stop. Yep, he's come to a stop. It's another mechanical issue. Tell you what, I'm loving these this season. Piastri, I lost the gearbox. Honestly, me as a racing driver, having had these issues as well, obviously not in Formula 1, but like, I think Oscar Piastri will reflect on this race a lot better now, because whatever happened, he'd be like, well, I was going to get a gearbox failure. He might regret some of the stuff that he said, but people say stuff in the heat at the moment. I think it's good to see, actually. Gearbox issue for Piastri. So Hamilton's boxed, Leclerc's boxed, Norris has boxed and kept the lead. Verstappen has not boxed. Oh, it's like Abu Dhabi reverse. So smart by Lando. Very smart by Lando. Alfonso's boxed. But Sir Hamilton... I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that box for Hamilton. Did he need to box? Axels, I thought we were getting a McLaren 1-2. You just don't know this season. God, are you kidding? I legit said he would win. Yeah, I know. It's been a really exciting... To be fair, if you're an Oscar fan, it's been a great... Well, it's been an exciting race to follow. Ferrari double stacked it, by the way. And Leclerc's quite a bit behind Kimi. The interesting thing is, why did Kimi not go on softs? Given that Ferraris are like, oh, we'll box on softs now. Yeah, Max... Also, Max not pitting, but I don't... 13 laps to go. I'm not... yeah, I'm not sure they should... I'm not sure Ferrari should have boxed. Maybe they needed to box Hamilton because he was... Behrman's got a penalty. Done good box for Hamilton. Surprised he's going to get a podium. Well, I guess he's profited the most from the Piastri situation. What happened on exit? Oh, something interesting happened on exit with Kimi and Lewis, where may have been some 8D chess being played here. It's almost like Kimi went over the line ahead and then slowed down and let Hamilton overtake him to get a penalty. It might be some 8D chess. So now Kimi's ahead of Hamilton. I'm not sure. But Kimi looked like he was slowing down on the line. It might be 8D chess to give Hamilton a penalty. But in any event, it looks like Hamilton's let him through, which is just costing both of them a load of time. Yeah, Hamilton let him back through. Hamilton was told give the position back. It's just cost them both a load of time compared to Verstappen. But there was definitely some fun and games there going on. Yeah, 5 seconds for Behrman, but something very weird happening between Kimi and... I don't think it's really benefited Kimi. Do you think Cadillac are going for the record for the worst season? Yeah, they're absolute pants, they are. It's embarrassing. Basically just irrelevant. But at the business end, so we've got Verstappen... sorry, we've got Lando first, Verstappen, 6 seconds off. Then Kimi is going a second lap quicker than Verstappen, but he's 8 seconds behind. And then Hamilton, and look at Leclerc there, 22 dead for Leclerc. But Leclerc's ended off quite a bit beyond Hamilton. So can Hamilton get... If Hamilton gets it done on Kimi, I tell you what, it'll be good. Hamilton will have earned his stripes in this race with the overtake. Do I play chess? Not really anymore. I mean, I can play chess. Should we do these streams and play chess at the same time? That should be quite fun. So, Hamilton half second off Kimi. Wow, if Kimi gets on the podium here, and also he didn't benefit from the he didn't pit under the safety. I'm not sure Hamilton should have boxed. Hamilton would be in P2 now. Why is Hamilton boxed? Stroll is 2 points away from points. Yeah, why did Alfonso box? Some very strange decisions to box, I would say. But let's see if Hamilton gets past Kimi here. But then I would say, well, why they're on the same age tyre? Why didn't Kimi put on? Oh, Kimi didn't have softs. Hulkenberg gets past Bortoletto. Is it a problem for Hamilton? Hamilton's dropped off a lot. Is it a problem to Hamilton? Is it a problem for Hamilton if they come together, or has he just lost a load of time? Hamilton was very close, and now he's a second and a half back. I am concerned. 1.6 back. Is it a problem for Lewis Hamilton? What happened here into turn 1?
Keep your head down.
Hamilton was behind on the straight. They went over the crest into the braking zone. I don't know what happened really, to be honest. Turn 2, Hamilton was like a few tenths behind. Oh, we had a big old drift. Went Tokyo Drift in turn 3. Tokyo Drift in turn 3. So a big slide for Hamilton. He lost the rear end, but he saved it. He drifted it. Looked sick in the slow-mo. It's great to see Hamilton like battling with Verstappen, battling with Kimi. Dom, would you rather be Cadillac or Williams? I'd probably, to be fair, rather than Cadillac, 'cause I feel like you get a season like Grace. Williams just like also super embarrassing. After all the progress it looked like they'd made, ironically when they were not meant to be making progress, because they were meant to make the progress this season, you just got to think, maybe the problem is the people at Williams. Maybe at some point you got to say, maybe they're just not good enough compared to the other teams. Norris, just keep an eye on punctures, please, with this overtaking. I'm going through a lot of debris. That's Norris saying keep an eye on punctures. Dark Class has Ferrari Stratos. Yeah, what do we think about the Ferrari Strat? I just think it was dumb. I think Ferrari are just costing Hamilton this season. Although I do think at Silverstone, I think at Silverstone they made the right choice because for reasons I've said in the video. Williams overpromised like a typical sales guy. Right, so Hamilton's 2 seconds off Kimi, but Hamilton asking his team, everything else okay, and the team saying good. Is he going to line up for another one? Norris lap time deleted. Hamilton overspending in the pit lane. Surely not. Oh my goodness. Hamilton speeding in the pit lane. That's slam dunk. That's slam dunk. And at the moment it wouldn't affect him because Leclerc's 5.4 behind. But I'm pretty sure Leclerc's going to get within 5 seconds. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be a penalty for Hamilton. Dark Cloud says no way. Unfortunately, yes way. Hamilton noted speeding in the pit lane.
Right head.
Chaya Hamilton should know better. Yeah, Audi. Hulkenberg going to get his first point by look of things. Stroll beating Alfonso. It's kind of crazy. Lindblad and Lawson are going for it. I think Russell's... Where's Russell? Russell's ahead of them. Yeah, Hulkenberg is right behind Lindblad and Lawson. It's a great three-way battle there. Hamilton, are you going to get that penalty? especially penalty yesterday, penalty today, penalties in Monaco. There's lots and lots and lots of penalties for Lewis Hamilton. He's getting a bit of a reputation, dare I say, picking up those penalties. But right now he's 6/10 off Kimi, so he's going to have another tilt. Lando is pushing again 9.5 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds clear of Max now. Yes, but it's a very good point, Dark Cloud. Very good point. Especially if he didn't even need to stop. Because I don't understand. Has anyone seen out on the hard tyres? Hadjar's out on the hard tyres. To be fair, the Lindblad and Lawson pace is absolutely atrocious. 1 minute 27. But they are battling really hard. Super hard. Oh, no way. Was Hamilton with the traffic of Lawson and Lindblad? I think so. Maybe. That's crazy if Hamilton is lapping up to Lawson and Lindblad, which I think he is. Unless he's somewhere else. At least for Russell's sake, he's not going to get lapped. Yeah, Hamilton's making his way through a ton of traffic. And so is Kimi. They're both making their... Whoa, Hamilton with a big old send on Kimi. Didn't quite work. They're being held up by an Audi. Big time. Massively held up by an Audi. The Audi's going to get investigated for blue flags, I reckon. Oh, that Audi really did not get out of the way. Don't know who that was. Bortoletto. Bortoletto just... driving like it's IMSA, just did not get out of the way at all. On this 33 lap old hard, going around casually 6 seconds a lap slower. Super Frog, who will win? Well, I think Lando's going to win, but is it a question of between Hamilton and Kimi? But then will Hamilton get a penalty anyway? So if you're Mercedes, do you say, well, don't worry about it too hard, Kimi, like we think Hamilton's going to get a penalty? What if Norris pitted? Well, Lando did pit on the safety car, that's the thing. Lando just was smart, he consolidated it. What's really interesting, really very, very, very interesting, is what if Hamilton didn't pit but Lando pitted? Because Lando pitted before Hamilton, like physically on the circuit. So what if Ferrari were like, well, we're not going to pit then? Oh, the back markers is... The back markers are not pulling over. I don't know if it's a directive. They've been told just stay on the racing line. But they're not pulling over at all. And they're all fighting for points as well. It's another Audi now. It's Hülkenberg. 6 laps to go. Hamilton should have more grip on his tyres. Could still be some more drama here. Yeah, these back markers are really not pulling out of the way at all. So Hamilton half a second off. They've cleared Hülkenberg. So Lawson's 44 seconds behind Russell. So once they get past Lawson, that's it. There'll be no more traffic, I think, unless there's some Williams still circling, getting double lapped, which it could be. What if Piastri came back on track? Basically nothing would happen. So 5 laps to go. Hamilton half a second off Kimi. Leclerc 5 seconds behind, and we think Hamilton 5-second penalty. 5-second penalty for Hamilton. So Hamilton now doubly needs to get past Kimi to try and keep the position ahead of Leclerc, unless Ferrari just say, you know what, let's not risk anything. Leclerc will stay back behind 5 seconds. Because Hamilton might get tangled up with Kimi and they'll lose a lot more. He can only blame himself. Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. But Hamilton's making the kind of mistakes that you often see with drivers near the end of their career, actually. What if Norris crashes? Well, then he's unlikely to win. Again, another 5-second penalty for Hamilton. The meme is going to change. It's no longer going to be 5 seconds for Ocon. It's going to be 5 seconds for Hamilton. Yeah, I just wonder if you're Ferrari, do you say, look, rather than risk Hamilton doing it, Leclerc, you just stay back. If you're Leclerc, you say, no, I'm not staying back. Gma, are those driving trophies? These are driving trophies. These are real trophies. Oh, there we go. Because Hamilton looks absolutely desperate to get past Kimi here. All over the wheel. Even if Lewis is near retirement, is how he's carrying himself at 40 is unbelievable. Yeah, but I just do think it's becoming ragged. Like, you know, I think Lewis at 27 doesn't make a lot of these mistakes. I think Lewis at 27 is maybe, in this car, is maybe winning the championship. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. 4 laps to go. Hamilton now a second behind Kimi. We know those hard tyres can go a long way as well. Lewis Penalton. Lando's been told no exit curbs up to Oscar. Okay, let's see. So Oscar was... see, Oscar was driving on the ragged edge. And his car gave up. One more year for Lewis, I think 2 at best. Well, let's see. I mean... I think it's a combination. I think the combination of... Leave the car. Combination of... Damn, AWS come up with the stupidest thing. The combination of Ferrari making fairly frequent mistakes in strategy and Hamilton also making mistakes. The combination of those two small things is a big thing, and I think that big thing is enough, but that's why Hamilton isn't higher in the championship. Let's pull up championship. This is not live championship, but that's championship going in. You know, you telling me that Ferrari wouldn't have 20 more points, or Hamilton wouldn't have 20 more points? So, I mean, I don't think anyone else in this race has got a speeding in the pit lane penalty. So what's the strategy with Hamilton now? What is the strategy? Hamilton saying they handed out penalties like crazy. Well, I'm not sure anyone disagree with that penalty. Pretty standard penalty. Charles 4.7. Yeah, keep an eye on that gap because... Well, maybe that's just how the cookie crumbles. Maybe Ferrari should tell Lewis, there's no point going for this. You have a 5-second penalty. You're going to end up finishing behind Charles. It's a P5 for you, Lewis. Just see it at home. That's what I would do. I say, Lewis, there's no point doing anything. So now he's been told we've got a 5-second penalty. And now he's really interested in the gap behind. So now maybe he's going to say, or tell Charles to back off. It's interesting at this point of the season that all the honeymoon stuff has ended in quite a few of the teams. And also, if you're Kimi and you see Lewis as your championship rival, you can back up Lewis a little bit. Try Hulkenberg on his first points. Yep, indeed, just on fast after the race. We were surprised that he didn't have points before. You have a look, it's been Bortoleto who's got 10. But we will see, it seems Hulkenberg get points there. Norris driving home the point. So last lap, everyone. And keep an eye on the gap between Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. But if I was Leclerc, I would say, not my problem. I'll take the P4. I mean, imagine if there was a podium on the line. I just don't think Ferrari should have boxed Hamilton. I just don't think they should have boxed him. That's my opinion. So we can't see exactly where it is on the map, but Lando is about to go over the line and win the Hungary GP. Yolanda, I like that a lot. Hulkenberg finally getting points. Yeah, solid drive from Hulkenberg. Great drive from Lawson, by the way, because Lawson was really involved in that battle. And great to see the RBs battling with the Audis. That's nice as well. Terrible race for Russell. I think just pretty much generally terrible race. And there we go. Over the line. Hamilton gets that penalty. Finishes P5. Another unenforced mistake. Although you could say, why was he boxing in the first place? Charles Leclerc P4. Anthony P3. Verstappen must be wondering, how on earth did I get a P2? Because it's 32 laps on the softs. You would say Verstappen would be the one driver who should have boxed then. But he didn't. And Lando Norris, smart as well to get on some fresh softs and win the race by 15 seconds. One of the best races of the season. One of the best races of the season. Very, very, very good race. This race is probably better than any race we had in, like, what was a poor season? 2024? Maybe apart from Singapore. Singapore was good. This is a very good race. Yeah, Russell was in the race. Yeah, and it's a good point to call because Hamilton's tyres were rolled, but he didn't need to box that early. He was desperate about undercutting Verstappen, and both times it didn't really work. He did undercut him, but he got overtaken. Driver of the day, I'm going to give it Lando. I think Max. To be honest, I don't think Max necessarily even, let's say, deserved that because Hamilton had got ahead of Verstappen, and then with Piastri but I think Lando. Whatever happened behind, I think Lando did everything he could to win that race. And even if Oscar hadn't made that mistake with Carlos Sainz, I think Lando would have overtaken Piastri. That's my hunch. So I'm going to give it Lando driver of the day. But let me know in the chat. Cited Lando got it done. Wiggins says, well done, my boy Lando. Joseph McLaren are competitive again. Now, I think I'm going to make a video. I'm going to put on F1 Fan TV. I want to do, like, maybe, like, you know, my takes. I need, like, to have 5 points. So my first take is going to be little mistakes by Hamilton. Another speeding in the pit lane penalty. Plus little strategy mistakes by Ferrari. I don't think he should have pitted under VSC, are resulting in the loss of big points. I would say Lando looked like a champion today. And the #1 driver. Just absolutely destroyed Piastri as the race progressed. Some of what we heard on the radio from Oscar, we should have seen last season. Kimi had a great recovery drive on the penalty and qualifying. That's how you win championships. Yeah, we'll go on that channel Black has been in. And how on earth has Verstappen finished B2? After a very average qualifying. We got to talk about the Astons. Yeah, we got to say the Aston upgrades have worked. Now they can start aiming for points. Verstappen standing neutral, almost immediately starting to analyse despite being corrected by GP. McLaren competitive again because Mercedes figured out software bug on new upgrade. I think they've gone to the new package, right? Yeah, so the things I think I'll talk about are the mistakes by Hamilton and his team, the great drive from Lando, but it looks like it's kind of broken down at McLaren. The recovery drive from Kimi, that's like a world championship drive. Verstappen P2 is kind of crazy. And the Aston upgrades working. And also first points for Hulkenberg. Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining today. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try and record something and put it on Formula Fan TV like ASAP. Which should be good fun. I'll be back. I'll be next week. I'll be doing motorcycle commentary, which is often in the Discord, by the way. So it's in the Discord, which is I just dropped something on my keyboard. Which is in the Discord, simracingdiscord.com. With the footage, and then we'll be back I think for the next race as well. But yeah, really good race today. Like this has been a lot of fun to follow all that and see everything happen. This has felt like almost like a double race, if that makes sense. Like so much has happened. But yeah, thanks Frozen, thanks Soldat, Cupcake. Never watched F1, but it's kind of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks Chaya, Harry, Don, Vlacker. Thanks for the mods there. Yolanda Vestig as well. Martin Harmson, Wigan Pilot, Sighted. Dark Cloud as well, I see you. Joseph as well. Thanks everyone for joining. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. And I'm going to do the reaction video now. I'll put it on Formula Fan TV. So thanks.